Had a good nap though. Had a great nap today when I got home.
I did not. I tried and failed.
We posted the question out there. What did you guys want to talk to us about, or us to talk about? And a lot of people jumped on one game fatigue as a streamer. You know,
Yeah.
it's something we've kind of touched base on. I think it's very crucial for you to grow your community per se, your channel, your brand, to just stick with one game. You know, Kay and I both came up with Madden. You know, we really blew up in the Madden community. And that was our one game. You know, we've both kind of since ventured out and, you know, try to spread our wings in another index. But, you know, in order to get to partner status, it really helps to just stick with one game.
Yeah. And that's tough. Right? It's tough. It's tough. So that's why, like, you'll see us now, both Rhino and I, and you'll see a lot of other Madden guys too. Almost all of them branching out from time to time and playing different games. And there's a very specific reason for that, is we're trying to find out what the hell else is fun. Because when games get really dry or you get fatigued on the same game, you want to find something else you're going to go out and enjoy playing. Because if you don't enjoy playing it, you're not going to want to stream it. And if you do, you're going to hate it. Right. So, but there's a balance too. It's not always just about fun. Like, there's games that I would love to play, but to me, I'm like, I can't stream this game. I'm too focused on it, or nothing's happening for a long time. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's weird. I don't care. I'm hooked on Animal Crossing, right? I play it for an hour every time I go to bed. My Switch is literally under my pillow right now. So I lay down, I grab my Switch, I play for an hour, then I fall asleep. But I can't stream it because I don't know. Not I don't know how to. I don't know if I can create content playing that game. Right? So, I mean, one thing to do is to go ahead and, like, if you're fatigued, play other stuff. Right? Try out other stuff. See what else is going to be fun and engaging, and that you can kind of develop yourself as a streamer too. Because no matter what you're playing, if you especially go to a different genre, right? I'm a Madden guy, really just chatting stream. If I go play Apex on stream, that's a whole different mindset, right? It's a whole different energy level, whole different everything, right? So to me, it's like, okay, can I expand the way I broadcast and also now entertain while doing this, instead of literally just sitting here and talking? Well, I talk about cereal a lot and movies and bad TV shows. What's about it?
So, I mean, just sticking with one game, you know, it definitely does help if you enjoy the game. With Madden, essentially, it was a lot of fun. You know, I had a lot of fun with the game. You know, I don't do head to head, so maybe that's why I enjoyed it more. I know that game gets a ton of criticism for what happens on the head to head side of it. And that's something that, you know, I didn't really expose myself to. And when I do, I see the frustrations, you know, so I stay away from it. If there's a game that pisses me off or makes me not enjoy my time on stream, I'm gonna stay away from it. So that mode, head to head, weekend league, any of that stuff, I stayed away from. You know, Kay and I kind of do the same thing. We're essentially just chatting streams in there. We just hang out with the chat, talk sports, kind of go over some of the new stuff in the game and whatnot. And we just, you know, we're an informative channel for, you know, Madden gameplay. We just don't do a portion of the game. You know, there's lots of games out there that, you know, that I'm hooked on. Warzone right now. Warzone, I am absolutely hooked on. I'm addicted to it. I just can't get enough of it. However, as a streamer, it's really difficult to get any sort of growth in that index because it is just so saturated, because everybody is playing that game. It makes it hard, you know? So when it comes down to just like picking one game, you have to stick with it. You have to focus, you have to hunker down, and you have to drive that thing home if you're seeing success. You can't get the ball rolling and then bail out. You're going to lose all that momentum and it hurts you. So if your goal is to become partnered, or just whatever your goal is, you have to stick with one thing. You're going to build your community up. Those people are going to return. They know each day you stream, you hit that live button, it's going to be that game. That's the game they want to watch. If you become if you're a variety streamer, which I was for 3 years, it's hard because you don't know what that streamer is going to do when you boot up. You get your dedicated viewers, the people that are there for you. They just want to hang out with you. You've created this relationship with them. So you're going to have those people show up regardless, but you're going to have those people that like you, but they're there for the game. Yeah. You know, they're there to see what you have to say about it, etc. And if you're not playing that, they're not going to show up. You know, it is what it is. It's nothing you do about it as a streamer. You know, it's just something that you have to build upon, and it just helps if you stick with one game and build up that momentum and build up that community to where you can start experimenting with other games and just see what kind of stuff you get.
Yeah, and like one thing that we want to be very clear on when we say stay with one game, it's stay with something that A, you enjoy, and 2, you're seeing positive growth on. Right? So say you're playing a game like I did. I mean, I think I streamed nothing but PUBG for 3 straight months and got nowhere. Bad game to stream. Like, you know what I mean? It just wasn't, it didn't work for me, right? For one reason or another, it didn't work for me. Oversaturated, bottom, you know, whatever. There's a million different reasons why it didn't work for me. But staying somewhere that you are happy being and you're seeing growth, put more focus on that. We're not saying that you can't only stream that game, right? But make it your primary focus. So what you want to do then is start funneling in more and more of your other content, right? Your other social medias, things you talk about, other people you collaborate with, into that one focus, right? And that's what really helps kind of spark a lot of growth. But like I said, don't be afraid to play other stuff too, especially if you're burnt out. Though, take a break and take a break and go. Yeah, there's a streamer that I've gotten to know really well. His name's Dre Nilla. I love this guy, right? I love hanging out in his chat. He's an Apex streamer, and I met him before he became a partner. Since when I popped into his channel, he got denied partner, and I happened to see it on Twitter, and I was like, oh, let me go on and I'll take a look at this guy. And got in there, and the dude was fantastic, right? It was fantastic. And then got partnered the second time, and now he's streaming right now to 306 people playing Apex. He got burnt out for Apex. Apex got bad for a while. There was an update or a patch he didn't like. He said, F this. He went and played everything else but Apex. Numbers went down a little bit. And then Apex got better and he went back to it. But he took that break that he needed, right? So not only did that revitalize him, he picked up some other viewers from other indexes who came in to watch him play that. And then he's also just phenomenal at Apex. So then he's signed to Soar. So now he just blew the top off the roof. In a year and a half, I watched him go from 50 average viewers to over 300. Now I love it. He deserves all of it. He's so much fun to watch. But that's what I mean by take a break. Don't be afraid to take a break. Just know that when you take that break, you're going to see a slight, not going to, but you could likely see a recession in viewers. You know what I mean? You're doing something different. You're doing something like it's, I don't know. Like think of anybody that you like even not in streaming, like Gordon Ramsay, right? Gordon Ramsay puts out Hell's Kitchen. I'm watching. Gordon Ramsay does Kitchen Nightmares. I'm watching. Gordon Ramsay does How to Survive in the Woods. I'm like, what? Well, all right, I'll turn it on for a minute, but no guarantee I'm staying. You know what I mean? So yeah. There's a drawback there, right? So like there's just different things. Like I'll click on and see what you're doing, but I might go, all right, well, let me know when season 45 of Hell's Kitchen comes out and I'll come back. Like it's the same concept. You know what I mean? Like even actors, right? Jim Carrey, comedy guy, comedy goes and does a drama and people are like, oh, I don't know about this guy. And yeah, right. And the movie did terrible, right? Goes back and does another comedy movie, people right back. So it's because that's what people wanted to see out of him, right? But over time, he did more and more dramas. Now he can do whatever the hell he wants because he's built up that audience. Go, hey, I'm a legitimate actor. I can do this now. Arnold Schwarzenegger, same thing. Played a big dumb idiot for 100 movies straight, right? Finally started doing, a little bit more in-depth roles, and then, it slowly growed again. So even no one's immune to this, right? If you change your genre, change your style, change anything like that you do in such a dramatic way, there's going to be some sort of recession until you build more in that other community.
Yeah, I think that's a great analogy. You have to build up your viewer base in one thing before you can start jumping around. You don't have to. It's almost like a nearly proven tactic to work for reaching partnership on Twitch. You can go see a lot of these partnered streamers, they stuck with one game. That's what they did. They did nothing but that game. And sometimes it's going to feel like a job, and that's okay. There's definitely been times where, this last year in Madden where I was like, I don't really want to stream. I don't want to play Madden, but I know I had my sights on this goal to reach partner, and I had to get on and hit that live button. I still had fun. Don't get me wrong, but there's definitely days where I want to play something else. I don't want to play Madden. I don't want to play Warzone, etc. You know, it's just you just have to understand what is your goal and how are you going to get there. And occasionally you're gonna have to do something you don't want to do. Play that game. You know, people get burnt out on games all the time. You know, when I started streaming, for whatever reason, I got gamer ADD. I could not stick with one game. I've bought so many games and started and never finished. For whatever reason, I was just jumping game to game.
Never played.
Just never played. You know, the Steam summer sales, for example. There's been so many times where I'm like, oh, that looks fun. I'll buy that.
Yeah.
It's $5.
Right.
Never even installed it. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. You know, it's just like I'm happy. You know, like with Warzone, I know Kay hates that game. But that game, I have been looking for a game to just hunker me down and get all of my attention. And I've been having a blast with it. I've been having so much fun. That's all I think about. I want to get home and play Warzone. You know, it's been so long since I've had that game. So it's stuff like that. You know, when you do find a game that is super saturated, for example, like Warzone and I am, you have to start thinking outside the box a little bit. How do you stand out from everybody else in that index? You got to think, you know, get awesome clips. Get your chat to do, you know, clip awesome stuff. Ask them to do it. If something awesome happened, hey, clip that for me, please. If you have a Stream Deck, you can put a button on your Stream Deck to clip for you automatically. You just hit it and it'll clip the last 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Post that stuff on social media. Utilize it. Hey, you know, people will see that. You know, they could be going through, wow, that guy's got a great shot, or wow, that was freaking hilarious. I'm gonna go check this guy out next time. You gotta go above and beyond. You gotta work harder than the average streamer in indexes like that.
Right. Yeah. And the same applies for streamer fatigue. If you want to stay in the same index, try something different. Right. If you're, I mean, you know, and our primary game is Madden, so it's a little bit different. It's a little bit tougher, but you'll see even big streamers do this too. Big streamers, you know, Nick Merckx, Tim the Tap Man, these guys, they get bored of a game. So they ask people like, hey, what's a ridiculous challenge to do? And instead of playing the game normally, they go, all right, we're apparently only using shotguns this round. Well, F.
Yep.
And you know what I mean? So they go try to do something, and all it's going to do is create a different dynamic of the game. So now you're playing it completely differently, not logging in, doing the same thing over and over and over again, right? If you're a Madden guy and you know, I don't know, say you're out there running corner and post routes the whole time, not throwing shade, just doing what you do.
That's totally shade.
But yeah, go out to him like, you know what? Like Trumpet Monkey did this. Trumpet Monkey said, you know what I'm gonna do? I think he was like an 87 overall squad he takes in a weekend league now because it's something different. He's like, you know what? Screw all the 99s. I'm gonna go play with 87s just because it's gonna be ridiculous and terrible, and I'm going in with the mindset that I'm gonna lose everything, and I don't care. Right? So when you change your mindset on a little bit, you're creating this new space in the same space that you can then grow off of and try to do weird stuff with. Like you know, for us, Madden's done, right? Madden's over with. Rookie premieres are here. I'm gonna go get them all tomorrow, and then then there's nothing, right? Then there's nothing left for me to do. There's nothing left for me to do. So instead, we might start a game show, right? And host it here on the OG network, where we might bring in Win Buffalo K's Money, where we might come out with, you know, what's the name of the game? What's the name of that game? Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? We might literally play Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader, and if you can beat me, you can have my stuff. There's something different to do with the game because I got nothing else to do. You know what I mean? Like, so like that's what I mean by you can sometimes create new space in the same space, especially when you're bored. That's the best time to go ahead and try something new, and you never know, that could be something that completely takes off. And now when your focus was this on this game and you were seeing moderate growth, you could blow up on this whole other niche that you might not even known existed. You know what I mean? You might create one. You might be the forefront runner on this. I mean, look at Summit on Sea of Thieves. Everybody else went on and was a pirate and went out and dug up treasure. He said, I'm just gonna steal other people's treasure by sleeping on their ship. Now everybody does that. But he, you know what I mean? Like he came out and created a whole new way to play the same game, and people gravitated to it. Granted, Summit has this huge audience, you know, but same concept. Go take something that you're already doing. If you're bored with it, try to create something new for it. Go, hey, What if I don't do the same thing anymore and I try something completely ridiculous, and it might be terrible? You might get 10 minutes into it and be like, I hate this more. Or you could have a lot of fun with it. So just be like, this is when you get fatigued on the same game, let it go, man. Start over, but delete everything and start completely over and see if you can do it differently next time.
Yeah, that's a fantastic point. Just try something different within the game. You guys have channel points available to you on Twitch. Utilize those. You could be, if you're playing battle royales, pick where we drop. Pick what loadout I use, etc. Drop the gun that you have. There's so many different options you can do, just to spice things up. If things are getting a little stale in that game. With Madden, I don't do head to head. The other day, I did nothing but head to head on stream. You guys got to see the competitive side of me and how much I rage. And it was different. People got to see a different, get a different feel from me. And I started tinkering around in the other game modes that it has, the QB1, the franchise, stuff like that I barely touched, if at all, this whole season. So, it can get rough. It can get stale. It can get boring. It can feel like a job, but you got to understand that's why we tell you guys to write down your goals. We talked about this on one of the previous episodes. Write down what your goal is. What is it going to take for you to get there? And a lot of the time, got to stick with one game. So you got to keep it fresh. Do whatever you can. Play with different people. Meet new people. Get out in the community and network. Take advantage of so many different ways to do it. This year with Madden, I met so many people. Getting out there and networking. It'll you can almost kill two birds with one stone, essentially. Excuse me. The fatigue is real. It is. We both went through it. We both got on hiatuses. It's okay. Just be prepared for any sort of negative effect that it brings with it if you go off script.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I said, that goes without saying. But just keep in mind that it comes back too. You know what I mean? Like I took a 3-month break and I watched my sub count drop to a quarter of what it was. And to be expected. I took 3 months off. You guys are amazing that stayed sub when I didn't stream but once a week for 3 months. But things come back, right? I don't know. Keep in mind what your long-term goals are, right? So if you get burnt out doing one thing and you don't address it early, you're never going to reach those long-term goals, right? So don't let a short-term issue, a short-term block stop you from those long-term goals. So just there's ways to get around it. I don't want to see people give up because they're in a shit month or two stretch, right? And we've all done it. Oh shit, I can't tell you guys how many times Rhino and I had that conversation. Like, I think I'm over it, man. Like, I think I'm done. Like, shut up, keep going, it'll be fine. I know it sucks today, tomorrow will be better. And it always is. It always is. Every time I get that thought in my mind, I'm like, I think I'm just gonna stop. Like, then something blows up again and I'm like, never mind, this is awesome again. I remember now why I love it.
Valleys, man.
Yeah, and they are brutal. And I feel like I don't know, Rhino, do you feel like the longer I stream, the more I do this, the higher the highs are and the lower the lows are?
Dude, 100%.
Like, I feel like I crash so much harder sometimes where I'm like, I'm gonna set my computer on fire and then just quit all of this forever. Like, it's just like I'm gonna throw my camera out the window and we're done forever. Then the next day I'm like, that was the best stream of my life. I don't know what the hell I was thinking 8 hours ago. Like, it's just it's wild. It just goes up and down. So keep that in mind. I mean, it's
flows, man.
Such a bipolar habit to have.
It's just like don't be afraid to feel like that. If you're a streamer and you're gonna have those, you're gonna have your peaks and valleys. You just got to keep trugging forward. It comes with the territory. It really does.
Yeah, that's why I want to put it out there.
Learn to navigate it.
Yeah, that's why I want to put it out there, because it's not like, I just want to remind, like, making a partner doesn't make you immune to those things, right? Having 11, 12, 15, 20,000 followers doesn't make you immune to that. If you average 300 viewers a day, it doesn't, you're still gonna feel that way. Like, it happens, man. It still happens. And I mean, God bless anybody who it never happens to. Well done. 2, I think you're lying. But I mean, it's normal. I mean, that's life too. You know what I mean? Like, that's life. Like, how many times you wanted to quit your job and the next day you're like, I actually kind of like it here. And then 2 hours later, like, nope, I'm out. you know, so it just everything. It's life in general has ups and downs. I feel like it's because if you have a passion for this, you're gonna analyze it more and put it under a microscope more. So those sometimes you, like I said, we talked about before, sometimes you negate the positives sometimes with the negatives that go with it, right? I said streamer fatigue is one of those. So sometimes you're just burnt out in the game, right? You're like, I think I'm done. I think I quit. I don't want to play this game anymore. I'm like, okay, that's that game. Try something different. But then it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Like, okay, let me try something different. And then your viewer count goes down. So now you're like way down. You're like, nope, I hate the game. I hate what I'm doing. I tried something different. It sucks me even more. I got nobody, you know what I mean? So like all these things kind of pile up. And then you're like, just wait until you find something new again that does work. And you're like, whoa, I can't believe I almost quit this. So it's a common thing. So just don't be too hard on yourself, man. This is hard. Streaming is hard. Streaming sucks sometimes. It's hard and it sucks sometimes. And then right after that, it is amazing. And you're so happy that you do it.
Yep. We can go on about this for hours.
Yeah.
You know? You guys that stream, you guys know, you guys have been there. I'm sure you guys have already experienced a lot of this kind of stuff, you know, and that's the whole point of the show is to kind of just let you know, hey, we've been there, you know, and this is what worked for us to help get us to our goal. You know, we're hoping that you guys get something out of these videos. We are so passionate about this stuff, and Kay and I both want to help out as many people as we can, you know, just tell our story, you know, and just guide you guys, coach you guys up essentially to be successful. You know, it takes time, you know, some things work. You can't be afraid to scrap it and move on, you know, move on to something else that didn't work, you know, or you guys, so many people get stuck into this sense of, you know, comfort. Like a relationship, for example, you know, you just get comfortable with this person and things get stale, etc. You know, it gets that with streaming too. You got to take a step back and just look at everything. All right, what am I doing? What can I do to spruce up the relationship, and, you know, just take this to another level? You know, people just go on and just hit that go live, and that's all they do. You know, that's the bare minimum. They put up an overlay, they play a game, talk to chat, and that's it, you know, and that's fine. You know, if that's what you're going to do, you just got to make sure that you are focused to what your end game is. You know, if it's not working, you feel like you're in a rut, take a step back, reassess, move forward. Yeah.
I'm gonna pause and break off for a minute. If you're gonna troll somebody and you donate 100 bits, cool. Like, thanks for the $1. Like, that's the best way to get trolled. I'm like, cool, man. All right, I like it. Yeah, a panhandler, bro. Just, you want to say something dumb? Cool, give me $1 first. Say whatever you want. The mods will ban you. I get $1, and I get to giggle about it. Well done, mods. That was actually pretty funny. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so the whole point of this show, like our whole mindset when we want to do this, was because we see there's a lot of people that give streaming advice and streaming coaches, and we've watched a lot of it, and some are really good, and some sugarcoat the hell out of it and give you such generic advice that I think it's almost nonsense. So what we want to do is just give you like that bullshit answer and that no bullshit answer.
Bullshit. No bullshit.
All bullshit. It's not, nothing we said is true. No, we want to give you the no bullshit answer of what it's really like behind the curtain. Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, from people who've been doing this for a couple years now and have had, you know, I mean, we're both partners, but to me that's still moderate success. I don't have 30,000 average viewers yet, so I'm still a small streamer. Like, until I hit that, until Tim has my cell number and says, hey, what are you playing tonight? I'm a small streamer. Like, that's it. So it's, but like I say, it's just a little like kind of peek behind the curtain of what really goes on in our brains and how we approach all these things, and like let you know that, man, if you have 5 viewers, trust me, anybody with 200 to 300 has the same issues and same thoughts that you do. So it's an ongoing struggle. So don't feel like, you know, you're not going to make it, or you're not good enough for it, or you don't have the mindset for it. That's all bullshit. We all have the same things going on. Some of us just have really good support systems that help us stay on track. So that's what we want to kind of do, is kind of give you like, hey, look, if you need another support system, like hopefully what we say in our show can kind of click and go, oh, I'm going through that same shit. So do these guys. Oh, maybe I should keep going. You know what I mean? That's the whole basis of this whole show. The whole platform that this is built on is that concept.